slain by Voidwoken. Others, perhaps not.
The spirit of a matronly woman stands before you. She shakes her head as she soundlessly argues with someone unseen. A faint sound catches your ear, the rasp of metal upon leather, a sword unsheathed. The spirit's eyes bulge with panic. She raises her arms protectively. A chilling sensation passes right through you. For a moment, it sounds like you can hear a distant male voice utter a confused, "Huh?" The woman's eyes seem to fix upon you, a brief flash of lucidity. The moment passes. There's another swish of metal through the air. The spirit collapses backwards, a silver gash opening the full width of her torso.
These people were slain by blades, not Voidwoken. More slaughter. Killed by Voidwoken, who were killed in turn themselves.
The spirit of a dwarf woman stares despondently at her body and those of her loved ones.
A word of the wise, friend. Never help a sorcerer. They'll only bring death in their wake. No, not me. It was my bloody neighbours. Soft darts and softer wits, the lot of them. I did the right thing. Let the Magisters know what was going on. But when they came for him, he conjured up all these monsters. The Magisters were too busy helping themselves to save me and my own. Murdering sorcerer filth. You're the same as the one who did this. Dragging monsters into our homes and taking none of the responsibility. Get away from me.
I'll give you fair warning, stranger. Turn around and get out of here unless you want to end up like this treacherous filth.
He throws a kick into the ribs of a nearby corpse.
What? What? How? How'd you know that?
The Magister visibly pales before stammering out a response.
Get away from me, you freak! You don't know anything about me!
Any last words, traitor?
An executioner's blade hovers inches above a young woman's throat. The nearby Magister drones a prayer with all the passion of a silent monk's empty gaze.
The divine does not absolve a traitor of his grace. You've tended not to the seed the seven have planted. Without faith, it cannot flourish.
He gives you a cool look and nods to a bloody corpse in Magister's garb.
That's the welcome the Crossleys give to law-abiding magisters. Sorcerers, though, they get bathed and fed. Ain't that right, woman?
The young woman squeezes her eyes shut in terror, but says nothing. The executioner raises his blade.
Brutality? This isn't brutality. A rotting limb must be cut off before the infection spreads. This is a cure.
He finishes the death rite.
And so on your flesh it must feed.
The executioner moves to his next victim, a young man who promptly spits in the Magister's face. The Magister raises his hand just as the executioner's axe begins to fall. The ensuing pause is deafening.
History, eh? Hey, boy, you got an interest in history?
The young man is silent.
Well, it's time you got one. You're going to tell your friends and your neighbors and every stranger you meet about this. You'll be a regular historian.
He passes his gaze over the young man's remaining family, then to a corpse bleeding out nearby. A child.
Tell them all about your lost little boy. Tell them about your so-called angel. Tell them what happens when you defy the will of the Order.
The young man grunts as he fruitlessly tries to free his hands from...
Thanks.
He looks to his slain brother's body, then to his sister's. His eyes well with tears, though...
We didn't deserve this. We didn't deserve any of this.
The woman tearfully stretches her bound hands towards you. The grieving mother manages a thin smile, even as tears stream down her ruddy face.
Thank you, stranger.
She blinks out more tears, then rubs them away with the back of her hand and puts on the bravest of faces.
To lose a child, it's a mother's worst fear. I never imagined.
She bows her head in response and keeps her head low.
It's true, you know, what the Magister said. My brother's boy, Gideon, he's got source in him. Now that his folks are gone, we've all he's got. We thought we could keep him safe. He's not got a spot of malice. He can't help who he is. But when the Magisters came snooping, he panicked. We all...
She glances at the Magister corpse and shivers. Another tear drips down her cheek.
Shouldn't have let that Hanag woman near Gid. She said she could teach him, but that's when all the trouble started.
Her mouth falls open, but she does not respond. Instead, she shakes and sobs.
As soon as the Magister fell, Gid knew what he'd done. He didn't even struggle when they dragged him away. Gods know where they took him. I've already lost more than I can bear today. I pray to the Seven I haven't lost him too. You will? Oh, bless you. Bless...
She ekes out another thin smile.
Make sure he's safe. And if you can, bring him back to me. Thanks, stranger. But please, don't go. Not yet.
He scans the death strewn at his feet.
like I told them magisters, the sorcerer ain't here. He's holed up in that Crossley house yonder.
The colour drains from her face.
Well, I didn't mean... Obviously, look, serves him right for sheltering sorcerers. Magisters told me to stand out front till they caught the sorcerer, and I don't want to upset them when they're on the warpath.
She closes her eyes and begins to whisper.
Everything's going to be all right. 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 Everything's going to be all right.
He turns towards you. Then he breathes deeply through his nose, his tongue extended, as if he were tasting the air.
Since when does Rain hire mercenaries? The sorcerer is trapped in the cellar beneath the house. He's dropped one magister, but he won't drop another. We don't need you, Merc. Seen a wound before, have you, Merc? That blade was touched with sauce. Kilgallion suffered before he died. Between you and me, he went a little mad. That was no ordinary blade. That was a sorcerer's weapon. Don't tell me you care, mercenary. He's a sorcerer. If the Inferno takes him, then justice is done. He only has himself to blame. These papers say you're an Inquisitor. You don't look like an Inquisitor. You don't smell like an Inquisitor. Fine. The job's all yours. Of course, first you'll have to put the fire out, at least so you can reach the cellar hatch. Stand back, lads. The Merc here's going to show us how it's done. She's going to bring the sorcerer out unarmed. Because between you and me, if he comes out here armed, we'll kill him on the spot.
The thought occurs. The Magisters have strayed from the path of Lucian.
The louder people shout in a god's name, the duller becomes their understanding of its message. Lucian would be appalled.
Their dedication to their cause is almost admirable. If one could admire a pack of red-cloaked baboons.
Wolves in sheep's clothing. That's all these Magisters are. We've seen it.
By all means, let us partake in the art of conversation.
The man brandishes a sword, ready to fight. A curious weapon, simple but weighty. It seems out of place in the hands of a simple worker, if that's what he is. You have your doubts, for the sword exudes an evil power.
Back, Magister, or I'll cut your guts for ribbons like I did the last fella. Like I don't know that? They think I'm a sorcerer. They're wrong. Unarmed. Let me tell you something. I fought in the Great War. I took this weapon from a Black Ring Scout I killed with my own bare hands. Then I came home to work, and work I did. And what was my reward? This is my reward. My house burned down. My neighbors killed, and by Magisters. One of whom I killed. And you would have me go out there, unarmed. And I'll take your weapon too, if it's available. What do you say? Can I count on your help? Lead on. Stand back there.
My, you did it, Merc. You brought us the sorcerer. And, oh, does he stink?
I ain't no sorcerer.
Time to die, sorcerer.
But you said...
It doesn't matter what she said. I am the authority here. I am the Magister Inquisitor, and I am charged with ending sorcerers. Kilgallion lies dead by your hand, and you stinking sorcerer, will join him!
Little help here!
He breathes a sigh of relief.
Let's get him!
Never trust a mercenary. Gods, I hate you people. All right, lads, come on.
Was my father's house.
He sighs.
This was my father's house.
He sighs.
Well, there's nothing left for me here.
If he were the crying type, he'd shed a tear, but that doesn't seem to be his way. You leave him to it.
junk.